Pick one. Pick your poison.
Master.
Awesome.
Oh, this one is good. It's a good thing to be delusional when you're approaching girls.
Yeah, good segue.
I know.
It is absolutely.
But it is.
Yeah.
Because you have such a higher chance of success if you believe that you're attractive and that other girls want you. Even though they might not actually think that, they will pick up on it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because that's actually the number one thing I noticed between the difference between me and my my second boot camp, Akil. We would talk to some girls, and I would leave, and he'd be like, "Man, that was so awkward." And I would leave, and I'd be like,
"What do you mean?"
He'd be like, "Chill, bro, chill." I'm like, "That was amazing," and it would mess with my head because I would see his frame, his reality was like, that was awkward, that was weird, these girls didn't like us. Whereas in my reality, I'm constantly self-deluding, where I'm like, those girls fucking loved me. I was hilarious. And it's funny to see our differences in reality. And I would try to explain to him, this is why I'm having success. And you're not, until towards the end when he started to adopt my reality. It's like, I see everything as a win. You see this as bad, awkward, negative. It's just how you frame it in your own mind. So the power of delusion can get you to start to win.
It is so important.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important.
Absolutely.
Girls really pick up on it. I don't know what it is, but it's the same thing in so many areas of life. For sales, for example.
Mm.
And I kind of want to go into the part where it's like, if you can go inside of yourself and feel really good about yourself, just enjoy the moment no matter what, and kind of be a little bit goofy, not in a needy way, not in a like too excited way, but in a more like, I'm just a funny guy way. That gets magnetic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just started to realize this last year from after we having these talks, that when I'm like in that vibe, when I go inside of myself and I'm just enjoying the moment no matter what, and I'm gonna enjoy it no matter if it's girls or guys or whatever, everything just gravitates towards me. It's so kind of hard to explain. It's almost like you have to experience it, but perhaps you understand what I mean. You're really good at doing it because you're doing it all the time. So for you, maybe it's just normal.
Well, when you feel like the source of good energy in the room, you have to realize that that's actually precious, and it's a privilege to have that good emotions and good feelings in your body. And some people are natural. What I would call a natural is someone who's very naturally gifted at becoming magnetic, at being the source of good emotions. And he's trained. I've studied naturals. Some of my friends, I feel like you might be a natural. Some of my friends who are natural with women, you'll notice, what do they do when they're hanging out? They're always like listening to good vibes, listening to music. Like when I got in your car, you're listening to this song September. I'm like, of course he's listening. It's like good frequencies. My friends who are good with women, they're naturally they like to sunbathe. They like to do things that raise their vibe, so that when they walk into a room, they are the source of good emotions. They're grounded, and they feel good. Because they feel good, everyone else around them feels good. So now they become a positive anchor for the social environment. What I've realized is, in social situations, when you're coming from a place where you might not be feeling too good, you have to learn how to spike your own emotions to feel good, and then preserve your state.
Yeah.
It's kind of a complex thing I just said. You have to like protect your momentum at all costs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't get, no one wants to be around you. You make no impact. I noticed this with my boot camp. If I'm not in momentum, I can't help. Like, so part of my boot camp is learning how to get myself into momentum first, and then help him get into momentum. Yeah. Ideally, I'm already in momentum. I get there, I'm just crushing it. But sometimes it's a little hard. You know, you gotta like get yourself out of your head.
Yeah. Yeah. Just another thing for those nature people. We're putting it inside a bottle. Since we're in Sweden and everything is so sensitive here.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to ash things?
I don't know. Greta might come here and
smack
us. So, just in case.
Just in case Greta's watching us.
Yeah. You never know. She's probably a nice lady.
Just don't have a pizza box out. She'll find you.
Yeah.
I already feel the nicotine. Man, it was perfect timing. Well, as far as the sunset goes.
This is very iconic.
Yeah.
It's very iconic.
I'm going to cherish this moment in this video. This is the place where I recharged and like developed new ideas. I mean, the very first hour of us hanging out, you were giving me ideas on how to like create. And you know what? What I did was similar to what we're trying to do in game. We want to start doing parties, right?
Yeah.
We want to have basically they call it a lead magnet in business. But what we want to do in game, you can call it a container event. What we want to do is we want to start throwing parties at our crib. And when we're going out to day game or night game, we're collecting leads, not just to pull that night. If we pull that night, great. But to also, we want to bring like 10 girls to our place and frame it and actually make it a party. Board games, music, alcohol, and then have just a few guys who are cool and then just party. And I like that idea.
Because this is really a big problem when you're cold approaching, is that you might vibe with the girl and it's a good night, but afterwards, perhaps you don't have anywhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can create a just simple, fun environment with board games, for example, that's it. You don't need anything more. And you can invite more people to it also. And you can create competition by having more girls coming home.
Absolutely.
And like, girls kind of know, but they want to have something to think of instead of like, oh, we're going home and watch these goldfishes. And I don't know what happened. We just ended up making out.
You could frame it even like, let me pretend I have the sick baller place. I don't, because I've been traveling. But I should. Like, how could we make this while we're like traveling on the go? Like, do you just carry your board games with you in your suitcase, you know? You know, like having like a simple board game, a speaker for music, alcohol. Like, you don't have to make it complicated. Maybe some like nice lighting. And then you frame it to them like, hey, I'm having an after party. You know, we're going to have some games there. We're going to have like a little game night. And there's going to be other girls there and my friends. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Rather than like, do you want to come back to my place? And it's just like,
no.
Bro, like make it easy for them to come.
You want to frame it in a way where it's like, we're going to do this anyway. You seems cool.
Yes.
You can come if you want to. Where it's not like, do you want to come and be with me?
Yeah.
It should be like from a place of abundance. And if you are, for example, 5 guys and you rent a nice place for the weekend, and all of you like bring 5 girls each, maybe that's high, but once you get momentum with this, I don't think 5 each is that high. I mean, that could be a pretty fun party, a pretty fun after party. Like, people that go out and travel, I mean, they want to do things, they want to have fun.
Yeah.
And if I got the opportunity to go to an after party, for example, I don't know, in Spain or everything, of course I would join. I would bring my friends. Like, that's just a so more fun adventure to like end up at someone's house party.
And if it's somewhere cool, let's say there's a nice view, and let's say it's like even just 3 guys, and you rent out a place for a week on Airbnb, and you're only paying, let's say, $50 each per night.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't even cost that much. You can have a sick place. You put in a little bit of effort, and then if you just combine that with knowing and understanding cold approach and having a little bit of skin in the game, where you don't give up easy, because sometimes you all have bad days.
Yeah.
The endless possibilities are endless, bro.
I mean,
so much fun, bro.
The thing here is really that a lot of guys already do this. They get a place together with friends. But the issue for them is that they can't get girls there. Yeah. Yep. And cold approach is such a natural and easy way to do it. Once you start getting momentum with it.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just... Yeah. I can't believe I haven't thought about this more before. It's just, anybody can do this, literally. And you don't even have to have the sickest house. I mean, you could have a normal Airbnb also and just invite the girls over to play some board games. You got a girl, I got a girl. Hey, let's go home and play this fun game I have. Sell it into them. No pressure. If you want to go home afterwards, like...
That's the key.
No pressure. No pressure. Just cool.
It's like...
You want to join?
If I invited you to my place, and I'm like, once you come in, you can't leave, and locking the door. That's like a date. You know, like, you want to eat dinner with me? It's not as good. It's not as effective.
This is a real fear that girls have, that they will get stuck with the guy.
Really?
And I don't think guys think about this. I mean, contrary to popular belief, like, men are actually stronger than women. women. And they
Yeah.
could be scary, and they could like kidnap and murder people, you know.
A lot of these guys have anger issues and shit. They get mad too easily.
Yeah,
you know?
so I mean, it's just really important to think about these things. So,
You know what I would say is your number one strength in the game? Something I've noticed?
mine?
Yes. And you can correct me
This
if
is
I'm wrong.
exciting.
I
What
feel
have you
like
picked up now?
your number one strength is you're genuinely interested. You see the game and approaching as just a social experiment.
Yeah.
And as just a game. Like, you're just like... Because when I saw you in Thailand, you had the most beautiful girl. And you're like, I want to test these things out. And she was even, like, fawning over you. She really wanted you to take her out. But you're like, well, you didn't care. You're like...
Yeah.
The point of the approach for you isn't to get a girl into have sex, but your mission is to just learn social dynamics. You genuinely are process oriented. You're not
You just
results
have
oriented.
fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's the hunt. It's
the
fun.
hunt, yeah.
And just improving the process of getting better is just so much more fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
in
is fun.
every
It is
way.
a lot of fun.
And since I'm acting in that way, because I think a lot of guys have the problem of being so
Needy.
horny and needy.
Yep. And you know what? It's
So they destroy it.
sometimes it's like
Comes out
horny.
from neighbor.
That's one I've seen guys are just like, I just want to get laid. I'm like, bro, this urge, you just go like it's fucking you up. But one thing I've seen is guys, they really just want their ego validated so bad.
Yeah.
They don't even care about like the interaction. They just want validation, you know?
Yeah. And that's why I think a lot of guys have such a hard time going out and approach, because it's going to like bruise their ego.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
But who cares? Like, really, who cares? So what, you get rejected.
Yeah.
Like, the girl doesn't know you, and perhaps you were not a good match anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You hold this like people hold this perception of themselves, of what they look like and what they should look like and what the results should be. And then them getting rejected dissolves this image. But the problem is they've tied their self-esteem to them never getting rejected and them being perfect, when they should tie it to other things, like them being a good person, them being funny, them being ambitious, them being open-minded, or having a lot of cool ideas, or strong, or independent, or whatever the fuck. Things that you actually have control over. You don't have control over a girl and her fucking
No, and that's the
opinion on
problem,
you.
because I think a lot of guys feel like once a girl agrees to go home with them or like do something with them, they feel like they have written a contract with her. Like, she could blow out last minute if you do things the wrong way, and that's fine.
Yeah,
It's not a business deal.
it's not a business deal. Guys are super logical. And
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Guys are sometimes too logical. Girls are emotional, and they're always having fun. They're always just enjoying the moment, laughing, doing all of these things. And if you can just role play with them, that's the key. Like, girls live in a dream world.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
I mean, even girls I won't be with, and that is just friends or like working friends. I'm just playing with them all the time, just because
Really?
it's fun. Yeah, and they're playing back with me, and some of them have boyfriends or whatever, but it's just fun like friends. And if you can get in that dynamic, it just comes natural for you to behave in this way with all girls.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what a good challenge is for a lot of guys that most guys should at least do once? It's a no closing challenge. Have you
Yeah.
heard of that? Like, stop
Very
trying to fuck
good.
every single female friend that you have an opportunity with. Like, stop blowing your chances with every single girl, and just realize that you need to get better with vibing with these girls first,
yeah,
and then just be patient and actually enjoy the conversation. Because the problem is when you're thinking in your head, okay, how do I get on a date with this girl? How do I get her Instagram? How do I get her to like me? How do I get her? You're coming from a frame of needing something from her and not actually enjoying her. She's right in front of you. Enjoy her presence. Make her laugh, like you said. Enjoy your... Like, you're having so much fun with your female friends that they probably all secretly want you anyways. You know, that's the funny part. It's like you don't even care. You don't want them. You're just involved in the process of being with them.
I think people are so result oriented and forget to like experience the process and just staying in the moment. And I mean, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'll fall for this also and just focus too much on the like results. But that's when you lose it.
When you catch yourself doing that, do you immediately notice like, oh shit, I'm being a little needy, and you stop?
I mean, I'm generally talking about in life overall. Like, if I'm at work, or if I'm with friends, or if I'm at a party. Like, this goes with everything. I probably had this happen with girls, but I can't think about the situation right now. But, because usually I am like very, in the moment, I'm very present when I'm with girls. Because I don't know, for some reason they bring that forth in me. But perhaps when I was younger, I were not, because I was focused on the result, or the fact that, I have to get laid, or like, how do I do that? And that just destroys everything.
Yeah.
It's exactly like sales. You should not be like affected by the outcome. You shouldn't care about the outcome. The outcome is going to take care of itself. And I think a lot of guys feel like they need things. And you have to realize you don't need things. You can create them yourself. You don't need a girl to feel a certain way. That's just such a lie. Of course it's going to help for you to feel good, but you don't need her. And when you realize that is when you are going to see more success. And you can become that magnet where people feel good around you instead. Who doesn't need anything. You just give to other people. You give good vibes. And some people might think, like, well, how do I do that? I mean, one thing you could do is think about things that make you feel good and go into that vibe. One thing you can do, for example, is think about a role model which acts in a certain way, and you can think that, okay, I'm going to think like I'm this person, or what would this person do in this situation, and try to indulge in like the same behaviors that person would, or like put that personality type on you. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I'm like a different person depending on who I am. I'm a little bit like a chameleon. So I can tell that I have different like personalities.
Give me an example, like when you're with me versus when you're
For example, when I'm with you, I can really feel like I'm myself when I'm with you. But when I'm with, for example, certain family members, I'm not myself. I'm probably more quiet, probably listening more, like letting them have their like validation or whatever. But I'm trying to stay consistent as much as I can to be like I am now. But
sometimes you can't, right?
And sometimes, for example, when we were out in Stockholm, I were in this like really playful, fun vibe, and we were just getting girls everywhere, like meeting girls, staying with them, and then starting to pointing at other girls with these new girls we just met, and that new girl brings in the new girls, and they're like, what is going on? Like, it's just such a good vibe. And in the end of the night, when I approached a girl, she was so serious because she felt like I invaded her space. So that turned over to such a like serious conversation. Even though I kind of turned it, that vibe made me more serious and less playful.
So which like at the end of the night, I remember you telling me this. You met a girl, you were having a fucking ball of a night. You were making out with girls left and right. I saw it, and then at the end of the night, you met a girl who got you into a really serious, logical conversation, and you kind of offended her for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Really,
I touched her.
You did.
She's like, but then
you like tapped her shoulder or something.
Yeah,
right?
Like, she's like, and I'm like, I picked up on that social clue and I backed off instead. Yeah, and I resonated with her. But continue.
And you won her over. I was just saying,
I did.
To clarify it for the video. And then you won her over, but the act of trying to like get her to like you in a sense kind of ruined the momentum of the night. I remember you saying that. Yeah,
well, I don't think perhaps I portrayed it that way, but I didn't try to make her like me, really, I think, but I kind of went into her vibe.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead. I put
her
on
frame.
I went into her frame, and I put another personality type. I went into another type of more serious personality type. And just to go back to what I was talking about, guys might say like, how do I do this thing to get into this good vibe? And think about people that you look up to, maybe on YouTube if you don't have any friends or whatever, and try to like behave like them or imagine that you are them. Almost similar to when you look at the movie and you really like the character, like the main character. When imagine yourself as that person, and
Yeah.
like, how can I act in accordance to this person's behavior? That, at least for me, is like the easiest way to get in a different state or personality type,
Yeah.
which can bring you other results, because you can change like this, like in an instant. I can feel bad because things has happened to me and I might have a bad day, whatever. But I know if I want to, I can just change like that.
Yeah.
And there's some inertia to it. But I mean, why would you want to feel bad when you can feel good? Sometimes you just feel like, no, I don't feel like feeling good right now. But when you're out and approaching, I feel like it's essential, if you want good results, to be feeling good in yourself. And then that could be helpful to do something like that.
They say that, I love this about when you're out approaching, they say it's the great equalizer. Have you ever heard that?
No.
My Owen used to say that. It's like, unless someone has like a status at this club or he owns the club or something, you can go out, and as long as you guys are all anonymous, you can go out with 4 of your buddies, and within this group you have this energy and vibe where, let's say these 3 buddies are kind of negative and you're kind of like feeling like beaten down, your energy, you can't really be yourself. At the bar and club, it's the great equalizer. That energy doesn't fly. That momentum, that positive energy, that vibing, making people laugh, leading people around the club, approaching girls and bring them all together like you did before. When you walk into that club with your 3 friends, none of you guys have status. It's all a level playing field. It's the great equalizer. So you get to see who has more game, as they say, or you can see who has more core confidence or status or belief in himself. And I love the game for that. I fucking love it, because everyone goes out from time to time, whether you're in the game or not. But when you're in my game, when you're in my club or playing field, I have more, it's fun to like run laps around people.
Yeah.
Just like but actually help them too. Because I'll go into the club and I will make so many friends. And then when I get bored, I'll be like, hey, come meet my other friends. And I'll bring them all together. And then when I connect them, that'll give me a chance to leave and approach more girls.
Yeah,
so it's actually, I'm the guy who's in abundance and knows everybody.
Yeah.
And guess who's the one who's pulling at the end of the night?
Yeah.
It's like the girls won't be able to keep their eyes off you.
No.
I had this happen the other day with my friends where, since I'm the one taking the most action and approaching and I'm bringing everyone together, I'm sort of like the center of attention or the energy in the room.
Yeah.
And now when a girl walks in who I don't know, what's your name? Come here. And I have
Come
all
here,
the
bro.
vibes and I have the group, and it's the great equalizer. Like, you go out in a bad mood versus your friend who's in a good mood, you see who does better. You can't sustain. It's like an ice bath.
I've seen it so many times, what you're talking about. It's so true.
You can't sustain a bad mood and go out.
But when you get really good at like getting into this like state of feeling like this playful vibe, confident, like a kid or whatever, a confident kid, you can even make other people go into your frame and your vibe.
Yes.
I've had that happen to me so many times. I mean, it kind of happened with the girl, the logical girl I talked about now in the weekend that we just talked about. But the thing was, her friend took her away. So she didn't want to leave, but her friend took her away after a while, after we had been talking. So you can actually, when you get really good at this, you will bring people into your vibe from probably not being in a nice state to being in a better state. But I would think it's easier to do with girls for some reason. They're so much more emotional.
They are. And that is the way you get girls, is you bring that energy. And the girl sees you. This is why they mistake looks and money as getting you girls. Like, if you don't have to have money. The amount of girls I pulled, they don't even know what my fucking name is. No. It's like, all they see is like, this guy has status in the environment. He has good energy, good vibes, positive emotions. They go with the good energy. And
the uglier you are, the more effective this is.
Yeah.
Because people are going to think, what is it that this guy have? Because he has all of these people around him. He has to have good energy.
It almost makes you more attainable or relatable.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at this fun guy. He must be really fucking cool, you know?
Yeah.
To be acting like this.
Yeah.
He's got to be rich.
And I mean, guys can do a lot to improve their appearance. Like getting a nice haircut, grooming themselves, taking care of themselves.
Working out.
Working out for
Eating
sure.
healthy.
Eating healthy. I know you got to practice on that.
I do. This guy's been helping me with my health. I do have to. But funny enough, since I've been here...
Can't be good at everything
this is the healthiest I've been in weeks. Like,
so
this
crazy.
is super healthy to me.
I've been so unhealthy with this guy.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I've leveled up, he's leveled down. Okay, we're going to go out and game.
No, it's fine. We'll meet in the middle.
Meeting in the middle. But overall, I do feel much better eating, like, just beef, steak, cheese, yogurt, a little bit of bread, a little bit of chocolate's good too, you know? Better than like the processed shit I was eating last week.
You can't always be serious. Sometimes you gotta shit.
Live a little. Your grandmother cooking us
Yeah.
all those sweets and stuff too.
Yeah, you can see it's tough for me to live there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
She's like so happy now.
God, life's so hard. They keep cooking for me. It's so unhealthy. It's like...
But it's kind of strange because...
I know how that feels though. Yeah.
Staying disciplined, for example, if you're rich, imagine how much more discipline you have to have with certain things. Like, you can order whatever you want if you're rich.
True.
I mean, being disciplined with different things like eating correct, I mean, that is not easy. You gotta do it even though you can do the wrong thing. Learn to do it. Because otherwise, when you get rich, that might fuck up your life.
You know, I agree. It's even just
the same thing
rich,
with girls.
Or really?
Yeah. Continue and I will continue on that.
It's like, I'm just thinking about when I was my most productive last year. It's so easy for me to think about when I built the business. Bro, I was a literal machine. I was like a fucking Terminator, bro. Because I had my management job, which supplied me food. It was really simple. It was just steak, eggs, rice, and really simple, healthy vegetables. That's it. I had my Muay Thai gym where I went to. I had my videos, and I had my approaching. I literally did nothing else.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any choice. I was stuck in the middle of Arkansas, and literally it's like I didn't have to think about what to eat. I didn't have to think about where to work out. I didn't have to think. I just did it. And there was no options. Now whenever I left Arkansas, it's like, where do I go? Do I go to Thailand? Do I go to Bali? Do I go to Europe? Where do I go? What business should I start now? And I had all this time. I had 10x more time, and I was 10x less productive. It was weird. And all of last year after Arkansas, I was thinking like, man, I kind of just miss having the simple ass life in Arkansas. It's like, just shoot your videos, go work out, go manage your restaurant job, and just work and game. And I was so productive, bro. Yeah. I missed the simplicity of it. And then you're right, with more abundance comes more distractions. Responsibility too.
Yeah. But when it comes to, for example, a lot of guys will have limiting belief, as have I, and still have sometimes.
What are your limiting beliefs?
Probably looks sometimes.
Look at this guy.
But for example, I'm losing.
That's like this sunset. I don't know if this is a good sunset.
I'm losing my hair, for example. You might don't see it because I'm very good at hiding it.
Yes.
But that's something like, and it's more like, I don't care about what other people think. I feel like I want to feel like I look good because that makes me confident, and that in turn give me the result I want. But I have so many times it happened to me like, I realized like my hair looked like shit, even though I thought it was on point when I was talking to a girl, and I realized like, it didn't even matter.
Exactly. It didn't even matter. Yeah,
it didn't even matter.
I
thought I was on point.
I'll rewatch videos of myself because I film and approach a lot, and sometimes I don't think about how I look. My last video, these girls loved me, even it was the thumbnail. I had like a fucking stain on my shirt. My beard was uncut. My hair looked a mess. I had the thick glasses on. I didn't even put contacts in. And rewatching it, I'm like, I look so bad in this. It's more relatable. You know, I was actually happy. I was like, this is relatable to everyone. And it's like, bro, the girls don't like you because of your looks. It's a bonus, but they like you because of your vibe. Yeah. Like, you walk up with genuine good intentions and good vibes, and the girls are like, finally a guy who's not needy, and he's just challenging me in certain ways and just saying the right things to make me entertained and feel good emotionally. Yeah. And then they like you. And maybe your looks give you that confidence to do that, but I think using your looks as a crutch, or you don't do that, but I think you'll eventually have so much experience of crushing it with your hair thinning, crushing it, looking a mess, that you'll be like, you know what? I crushed it. It's good. Like, I crushed it with this outfit on the other day. So now when I wear this outfit out to the club, I'll like, well, I know it's not this outfit if I'm having a bad night, because I crushed it the other day with this one. Yeah. You know?
I'm curious, what are your limiting beliefs?
My limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Sometimes my height.
Really?
On a bad day. Yeah, if I'm walking in feeling unconfident.
You're not that short.
Exactly. You're not that ugly. I walk in, I'm like, he's tall, a few inches taller than me.
Like, you're like normal.
I'm like normal height. Right. It's almost like someone said this and I resonated with it, because it's almost like 5'10" is even worse, because you're not quite short, but you're not quite tall. You're like in the middle. And you're kind of like, I wish I was just a few inches taller.
I wish I was a little bit shorter so I would stick out more.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm insecure about my voice. Like, I kind of have this high-pitched voice. I talk fast, but it's something I can work on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm insecure about my limiting beliefs. Used to be that, oh, this girl, if she's like not the same race as me, she won't like me because
Yeah,
because
that's a
I'm
common
such
one.
a random. I'm like Italian Asian. I didn't know where I fit into, and I felt like no one would want some like mutt, some like random mixed guy, you know, who's
Bro,
just
you're really cute.
Yeah, thank you. Then that limiting belief got completely dissolved when I met girls who were like, "You're so my type," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Really, me?" Like, "Yeah, I love your hair and your eyes," and I was like, "Really, me?" That happened multiple times to where I was like, "Some girls just like the way you look, dude.
Yeah.
It is what it is."
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
can understand that you have these limiting beliefs. Like, it's natural because you want a logical reason to why you don't getting the results you want.
Yeah,
And you like put the seeds there and it start growing, and
yeah,
then it's that. But
Yeah.
for example, it all comes down to how you're perceived and like what you say and how you say it. It's just so important. I don't know if we
Yeah.
can come up with a good analogy to explain this to make guys really believe this, because
Analogy to what?
to why this is true, like another real life scenario. Because I mean, I had a hard time believing what I'm saying now before I experienced it.
I have an analogy.
Yeah.
Boxing. This was weird. I thought I couldn't box before. My hands are too small. Maybe it's
Really?
just something. For some reason, I had this weird feeling of like, I think I can't box. And I would get in the ring when I first started. And since I think I can't box, and I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm not a tough. Like, I was always a tough kid. Like, I'd rather die than get bullied. Like, you just kill me now. I'm willing to fight. But I was like, I'll never be a real fighter. I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough.
That
I just don't
surprises
have
me
the
about you.
build. You know, like, who am I? I'm not a masculine fighter kind of guy. I don't have it in me. I don't have that warrior in me. I always thought that. So then when I would get in the ring, since I have this fear and this self-limiting belief, I would curl up a lot.
shit.
I couldn't really move around. And then I would get fucked up in the ring. And it wasn't until years later I got back into the boxing gym. And for some reason, I was going through that low period and I had nothing to lose. I was kind of just like, I've been through so much shit. I'm going to fuck this guy up. I just kind of I forgot about my limiting beliefs. And then I would get in the ring with real fucking fighters who have pro fights. And I would stand toe to toe with them. And just because I didn't give a fuck about, you could knock me out, and they did knock me out sometimes.
Yeah.
You could knock me out, but I'm not giving up. I became one of the best boxers in the gym. Just
Really?
through sheer bravery alone. And then my perception of myself started to change. I'm like, maybe I am a fucking warrior. Like, maybe deep down there's been this warrior spirit all along, and I've just been looking at myself like I'm some kind of weakling. But in reality, I am a warrior. I just had to learn how to box and learn how to take a punch properly. And then after I learned how, and it's the way you can relate that to approaching, you are that guy. You are that sex-worthy guy who can get girls and girls love. You just have to learn how to convey yourself, how to make girls laugh, and learn how to get rejected properly. Because it's not going to be easy. At first, you're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get rejected hardcore. Like, oh, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you, short, ugly motherfucker. No, they won't actually do that, by the way. Some girls will be a bit rude, but you got to imagine their perspective. Have you ever walked around with a hot girl?
They're
Oh
having
my God.
guys coming up to them all the time. Like, it's understandable. It's like a shield for them.
Yes.
To scare off the unconfident people.
Yes.
Because to be real, like, having needy people around you or like annoying people is quite unnice. It's like, it's not so nice. Like, so
And
it
if
just
you
makes
see,
sense.
this one guy came up, and this was like a normal looking dude, but he was like not good looking, but not that ugly, just normal. And he came up. This made me realize how much people are like have no game sometimes. He walked up, and I was with a group of girls, and I just met them, but we're vibing, we're dancing, having a good time. I probably danced with one of them. This guy came up, looking at me. What's up, bro? I'm like, what's up, man? How's it going? I'm just cool. So I talk to everyone, and he's like, we're talking for like 30 seconds. He's like, hey, bro, are these your girls? I'm like, no, just we're all friends here.
Yeah.
He's like, can I dance with one of them? I'm like, I mean, ask her. Like, you asking me? This ain't my girl. Like. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is kind of weird. And then as soon as I said, well, why don't you ask her? He was like, oh, no, I wouldn't. I don't want to do that.
Even
That's weird.
guys perceive it in that way.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's so important, like, how you view yourself.
Yeah.
And it might take a while to, like, learn these things, to act in this way. Because it's hard to act in a way because you feel like an imposter when you haven't received the result. But if you don't start acting in this way, you won't get the result and you won't believe it. And I mean, what you focus on and what you think about yourself is going to be true. So if you think you're not tall enough or you're not confident enough or whatever, that is actually going to be true until you change your mind. And I understand it can be hard for people to start believing a new thing because their programming their program will block these new thoughts. It's like
because humans don't want to change. We don't want to change.
Let me give a good analogy for this. But it is the same thing in all areas of life. Once again, like I said before, like this goes for so many things. Like I had a dark period in my life,
Really,
a couple of years ago, or it happens sometimes, a dip, and I knew that the only way out of this dip is to recondition my mind, because I felt like, oh, life sucks, it's very dark, blah blah blah, I don't like life right now, nothing goes my way. But I guess I've been blessed to learn this somehow, and I just knew that the only way for me out of this is to start to reprogram my mind. So I just started to say to myself that I love life, I'm so thankful, even though I didn't feel like it, even though I didn't feel like life was great. And it took like 3 months of doing this to myself. But after that, it started to change, and my emotions started to change because my focus changed. So then life started to become wonderful. Because I reprogrammed my mind. And that's what you gotta do with these limiting beliefs also. And the results will come after a while.
Yeah.
But the reason it's so hard is because if you have a limiting belief, for example, that you're not confident or you're not tall enough or you don't have money or whatever bullshit limiting belief you have, it is like a road. Imagine a road where you have been walking all your life, like a field, example.
That one right there.
Like a field, and you've been walking this way, around like this, or around like that. Like to start going just straight down to the water and make a new path is really rough. Like in the beginning, it was rough for me to tell myself that life was good. But after a while, this road started to get trampled up. And since I didn't walk so much on the other road, like around, that started to grow back and disappear. And after a while, I had created a new pathway in my brain, like a new road, which made my brain default to being thankful and the fact that life is good and having good emotions instead. And I created a new belief,
powerful.
and now it was just going straight down instead. But it took a while
to
rewire
your
because
brain.
it's tough to go for the new
It might
road
be like
with all the grass and everything.
shit around. Yeah.
So it takes a while, but this is so important. I think this is like the key thing I really want to emphasize today. Yeah, the guys should take with them. Like it takes a while to make a new road to come over a new limiting belief.
It does.
Or to come off an old limiting belief. So yeah, but that is key. The programming is so key. And you can choose
I think
your
you can
programming.
speed up the process by who you hang out with.
Of course.
Problem
Of course.
is you have to have an open mind and a sort of opening. Like you have to be going through so much pain that you're like, fuck this shit, I have to change. And that's usually when someone will appear in your life who will change your life. But I've realized that people like you and me, if we have a negative friend, and even though we love him, we can't really bear to be around him because he kind of lowers our frequency.
You get so impacted.
You get impacted.
It's just crazy. My results with girls just skyrockets when I'm just around you. It's crazy.
Or around your other friend, Jack.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Just around someone who's positive. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Same.
just
Same.
massive difference. It's massive difference because I go into your vibe because you're always happy and goofy and like So just having the right person around you just makes it 10 times easier, 10 times faster.
Absolutely.
It's just like a coach. I mean, I played volleyball and I sucked so bad, but I joined some guys that like they were good, and I just started listening to him coaching me. In 15 minutes, my game improved so much that I can't believe from just listening a bit to him and doing like him, I could actually almost play not at the same level like them, but I could play with them instead of just sucking at it.
Is it because he explained why?
Yeah, he explained the why and what I should do, and I was susceptible to it. I had an open mind, and I put my ego to the side, and it just went so quick. And now I just had a blast.
See, a good coach...
I might play volleyball, I thought.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I like that. Like, a good coach does that. He explains things in a way that's simple and makes sense. You know?
And also, what I realized, a lot of people get very angry because
when they get feedback, right?
no,
Oh,
or perhaps
a lot
yes,
of them do.
but that was not what I
yeah.
was gonna say now. Like they get very angry when they try to explain something to someone and they
Yeah.
don't understand.
Yeah.
But you know why they don't understand? It's perhaps because you didn't do a good job explaining what you're trying to say. You didn't convey it in an easy enough way. You should talk in a way that a 10-year-old could understand it. Like we are simple. That's why we talk in analogies, because it's easier to relate to and understand. So if someone don't understand what you're saying, it's probably because you're not doing a good enough job of explaining.
Absolutely.
And
I
that's,
like that, explaining away like a 10-year-old would
yeah.
understand.
So when someone says I doesn't understand, I say to them, okay, sorry, it's because I've done a bad job of explaining it to you. But most people get angry and think it's something wrong with other people. So you gotta be
Facts.
a little bit like
So
analyze
true.
yourself and yeah.
That's actually something I have to work on as a
Really?
coach. Yeah, not always. I'm getting better, but coaching is its own skill. Having good game and being a good coach, two different things. That's something I learned. Like, yes, you need both to impact someone, but I think it's almost more important to be a good coach. You can have like normal game as long as you're better than that guy, but if you have good coaching skills, it's almost more impactful.
Yeah, and I think what you can do when you're trying to explain a concept to someone is you just ask them for feedback. Like, what part of what I said you feel like
what
you
helped
didn't
the most?
understand? Yeah, so you're
Facts.
like asking them so you know how to explain it better. Or
Yeah.
like, what part didn't you kind of understand? Or did you understand this part at least? And like asking right questions.
That's good. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Asking the right questions.
It's so
Yeah.
important. Drop your ego.
Man.
And everybody is just kids, even the adults. Everybody's here playing the game for the first time. Be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that easy always.
What was the best night of game you've ever had in your life? And as I ask this question, let's make sure we're still filming. Yeah, we're good.
When I met you. No,
No,
I'm just kidding.
really. Fuck yeah. By the boot camp.
And I risked you up. No,
By the boot
I'm
camp.
just kidding. It's difficult. I've had so many,
Me too. Yeah.
but
I have to go through the memory bank.
I mean, for example, now when I met you, I don't know what happened. It went so well.
Really?
Like, we had so many girls this weekend, and just a couple of days before, I probably did like 15 approaches alone in a student town, and it just went so bad.
Really?
And I start questioning myself, like, have I lost it? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? But I actually, like, instead of self-pitying myself, I just realized, like, who would even go out with their friends and go to the club like this and keep
Yep.
pushing, even though you don't get the result you want? And I just talked good about it in my mind, and like, this is a learning experience. I've learned so much here, and just analyzed it and realized, like, this is not a failure, this is a win, because I'm learning something. Sometimes you don't get the result you want, but this is very important. All work works. This is from the Bible. Like, all work works, because if it's not working for you, it is working on you, so you can become the person whom it can work for.
So raw action solves.
Yeah. So like, that's a good mindset to have.
I like that.
That when you're not getting the results you want and you feel like it's not working for you, it's not that it's not working for you, it's because it's working on you until it can work for you.
And that's almost like a bitter truth or a
Yeah.
bitter pill to swallow, where it's like, man, you're going to have to go through some shit where you're kind of like, is this shit going to work? Especially in business too. Like, bro, it was years of like just trial and error and trying to make something work.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I would call my brother and bro, I'd be in tears. I'd be like, bro, I've been pouring my heart into this shit, ain't working. I don't know, man. I'm just going to keep going. Yeah. But then when it works, you're so thankful you didn't give up. You just kept going. So you got to have a little bit of blind faith.
Yeah.
But also you have to learn when, you know, you're doing the same thing over. Let's make it for game, for example, or even like my content. I was making a type of video that people just don't care about. So I shifted it. Same thing with game. If you're doing something, the same thing over. I had actually a boot camp student the other day, and I was like, hey, bro, change this. He's just like, well, I read online that you got to do this. I'm like, okay, well, how has it been working? Well, it hasn't. I'm like, well, then change it.
Just
it's
try
not
something
working.
different.
Try it. He changed
What's
it,
the
and he's
worst
like,
that can happen?
yeah, I noticed it. And as soon as we changed it, it worked. It was actually his, he was doing approaches where I've seen people do this. It works sometimes. I've seen it work for you, but you have good energy and he didn't. Not that he didn't have good energy, but not as good. So you're walking, you see a girl, he jumped in front of them. like, or you're walking with him, he jumped in front of him, like, hey, excuse me, and the girl would immediately walk away, or he would get in, walking with a girl, he'd get in really close and crowd her space, and this is literally what it looked like. The girl would be like trailing off, kind of like, whoa, this guy's crowding my space. So I said, bro, you mirror her energy, try that. And he's like, well, in game it says you really have to like be dominant. And I'm like, bro, yes, but that's like later on. Try it out when you mirror it. So now I said he would approach and walk with them a bit, and I said stop them in like 10 seconds, and then after he hooked them, he would stop them, and then they would stop. And I'm like, boom, fixed. Anyways, the analogy I was trying to make, or what I was trying to say is, if it's not working, fucking
change something.
Try something new.
But don't like say something is not working after approaching 5 girls. Like at least
gotta try it at least 50 times.
Do 50 or 100 or whatever. Because of course Einstein said like doing something over and over again and getting the same result, like it's a madness, and expecting something different. If you do like something the same way and expecting different result, it's just madness.
Have you ever heard the saying, every truth is but a half truth? It's a Buddhist,
I've heard it, but I'm not sure I've understood it.
It's like in life, a lot of people think that if you ever see someone who's certain about something, especially if it's game, like approaching or like some kind of theory, they're absolutely sure this is the way to do it. Every truth is, but there might be some truth in it, but anytime someone's completely certain, he's not willing to test it or think of new ideas, usually this person's a little bit wrong or has a blind spot in this area. And I've learned this in myself. Like, I've learned that, listen, here are my ideas, this is what works for me, and I'm open to any new idea as long as it works for me. So you have to be open to new ideas. You can't be too stuck in your way of thinking. That's how you stay where you're at.
You can always learn from someone. Even people that are way below you, there's something to learn. For example, I was with some friends not that long ago, and they were just having fun, even though they didn't seem to do something that was fun. But they were just having so much fun anyway. I'm like, I can actually learn something from this. Like, there's possible to have fun in every situation.
Do you do that? Do you think, like, whenever you're hanging out with people, always thinking, what's the lesson? What am I learning from this?
To.
Yeah,
like,
I do that as well.
I think that I can learn something from everybody, because I'm not better than anybody. We're just, like, learn different things.
Yeah.
And there's something to learn from everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's just a good mindset to have towards the world.
I think so too. I think not enough people have that mindset.
Yeah. It's starting to get cold.
I was literally, you said what I was about to say. I was like, it's cold.
Yeah.
Well, guys, fantastic podcast. I knew we would crush this. This is really good stuff. We've had an amazing week in Budapest, and afterwards I'm actually going to post this.
Yeah.
And this is just a deep talk. We have many of these deep talks every day.
Yeah.
So we just decided to record one of them.
Yeah.
And,
very good.
Let's do it. You ready? Good stuff. Good talk. Good cigar.
Stuff.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Awesome. See you guys. Peace.
Whoa.
Oh no.